just going to have to juggle, so bear with. So, if you don't know what building equality is about, and if you don't see what I'm dressed like, so I'm going to do a talk about lesbian, gay, bi, trans inclusion in construction. I'm going to refer to that now going on as LGBT plus inclusion, just for ease. And I'm not here to preach to you, I'm not here to convert you, and I'm not here to recruit you. What I'm here to do today is to highlight and celebrate the change that individuals are making within our industry to drive LGBT plus inclusion. But, and there's always a but. Oh, we didn't even start with that one. It's just me being shy at the front, don't worry. But, and there's always a but, I was there. Here are some statistics of workplace, LGBT plus statistics in the workplace. So I'm Luke Ives, and I am the 41% that was not open about his sexual orientation or gender identity in his first job after graduating. I'm also the 72% that has hidden his sexual orientation at some point in work. But why are statistics important? It doesn't matter about your sexual orientation or your gender identity. What matters is if you can do the job, right? We've all heard that? Well, actually, no, I can give you the business case as to why it does matter, as to why we should be open. It matters for productiveness, it matters for innovation, it matters for employee retention, and I could go on. But actually, it matters because if an individual cannot come to work as their true, authentic self, then they can't bring 100% to the job. And if an individual has to hide a whole self of their being, then actually they're spending time on whether they think this top makes them look gay. Or they're thinking about covering their tracks about what they did on the weekend if they went to Canal Street and how they can hide that from their employer. But also we have to think about, do you want to work for an organisation in an industry that is rife with LGBT plus phobia, or do you want to work in an organisation, in an industry that is inclusive to the core and celebrates diversity? That didn't work. Technical difficulties. Now, sadly, the construction industry and the statistics don't really go that well together, as you can see. From now on, you can start calling me 5-stat Luke, because I am also these 3 statistics up on the screen. Again, I am the 60% that thinks that my sexual orientation has created barriers to career progression. I'm the 59% that has overheard gay being used as an insult in the workplace. And I'm the 54% that does not feel comfortable being open about my sexual orientation on site. So when we consider these stats on the screen now, and we consider the stats that we saw on the slide before, and we marry that with the fact that the construction industry has a skills shortage, then we really need to start making a positive change to ensure that our industry is open and accepting and inclusive to all. We need to welcome difference. We need a cross-section of employees in order to have the strongest teams. We need a mix of experiences and beliefs, and we need to encourage creativity and innovation. So what we need to do is remove the barriers and educate our workforces. So this is where building equality comes in. Building equality is an alliance of construction organisations from contractors, developers, engineers, clients, and we're all working together to drive LGBT plus inclusion in the construction industry. We have the vision that it will be wholly accepting, inclusive and supporting of LGBT plus individuals. We have presence across the UK with over 50 organisations nationally, regularly participating in joint events. And some of our events include evenings like tonight, where we discuss key EDI topics and innovation, and some other events will be parking up a rainbow JCB in the centre of Manchester and speaking to the public to change preconceived perceptions that construction is male dominated and it's a masculine environment. We need to break down those barriers. So here's a nice little timeline of building equality, and it's seen significant growth in such a short amount of time. It began in 2015 when 3 companies decided that actually together they could make more of a difference than alone. 4 years on, we have 50 organisations across our industry collaborating together with hundreds of volunteers, all driving LGBT plus inclusion. Back in 2015, it was impossible to think that the construction industry would have an entry into a Pride parade. This year, the construction industry was present at 8 events across the country. Now, if you look on here, you can see there's a number of pivotal moments for building equality. And now I'm going to be a little bit biased and say that there's one that stands out the most. And it's in the middle at 2017, and it's the formation of the Building Equality Greater Manchester Committee, which I chair. So how did it start? It started with me, Mark, and John. So we're only missing Matthew, and it would have been, biblical. And this, we basically all got together because it was a direct result of a lack of representation in the north. And it's grown over the years. So we've gone from 3 of us to over 50 committee reps to 29 organisations all collaborating together. Sharon up on there was like, "You're not in my notes." I was like, "Just you wait." Oh no. There's a sneak peek of what's to come. So, what have we achieved? This year alone in Greater Manchester, we've developed an LGBT plus toolbox tour and poster campaign, which challenges tokenisms and microaggressions on site and in our offices. And they've been shortlisted for 2 awards. We've also supported 3 prides in the region, one of them being Sparkle Weekend, which celebrates our gender non-conforming community. And we've also supported local LGBT networks and groups, events and conferences, and raised over £1,000 for the Proud Trust. So the LGBT plus inclusion tour. We as a committee needed a cheap and effective solution to empower and educate our workforce on LGBT plus inclusion. So we created a short presentation aimed at doing just so. It starts the conversation around sexuality and gender identity. It educates on the impact of discriminatory behaviour and also educates on LGBT plus history. But ultimately, it encourages discussion and it encourages workplaces to be supportive and to be inclusive so that everybody is treated fairly and equally. The resource has since been presented on sites and offices across the UK to hundreds of construction professionals, and not just to building equality members. We've also been educating our supply chain so that LGBT inclusion is from the top down and the bottom up, and it feeds through our whole industry. To go alongside the Toolbox Talk, we created a poster campaign. Now, this poster campaign addresses the key microaggressions and inappropriate phrases that LGBT plus individuals face on an almost daily basis. The series of posters, as you can see, contain hard-hitting messages that challenge misconceptions, such as the LGBT individual only getting the job because they tick a diversity box. It also highlights inappropriate language that is often heard. But we like to split the subject on the head. So here we have "that's so gay," we also had a "that's so straight," because it doesn't make sense. These messages were then backed up by the statistics we saw earlier to really highlight how damaging these terms, these phrases can be on individuals. These resources were created by over 24 construction organisations, which goes to show that the construction industry is really in solidarity to make LGBT plus inclusion a boardroom topic. And when we talk about collaboration, collaboration is key for anything that we do in this industry. In Greater Manchester at the minute, we have 29 organisations all working together for the same goal. Any of you quick mathematicians on there will realise that that is not 29 organisations. So Hayes are our regional sponsors, and Volker Wessel and Taylor Wimpey recently joined. If your organisation isn't up there, come say hello with a glass of wine and I'll see what I can do. But all of this could not be achieved without the passion and the dedication of the many inspirational people and the numerous organisations who I am proud to work alongside to call my friends and colleagues. Being numerous in organisations means there is also numerous opinions, which means it's very hard to please everyone and get it right. But we do. We drive forward with determination because we want to make our industry better. We want to make it a better place to work and a better prospect for the people working within it. So to achieve what we've achieved, I've seen people innovate, step up, adapt, improve, resolve differences, share information, listen and support each other. These are all the vital ingredients for change. And building equality is change. We have a long way to go in terms of truly instilling LGBT plus inclusion within our industry. We can talk about preferred pronouns, we can talk about gender neutral toilets, but the industry is changing. We're beginning to see a real focus on equality, diversity and inclusion. We're seeing diversity as the solution and not the problem. Peace.